Hey. Hey, it's the first time I'm going live. So that's pretty crazy, isn't it? How are we doing, everyone? I just wanted to have a sit down with you and have a little bit of a catch up, really, of what's going on with life. So last week I wasn't around because it was the school holidays. So, my daughter was off school and we went to my parents. And yeah, can you everyone hear me? Just uh just let me know that you can hear me. That would be grand. So, are you guys okay? Having a good day and all that? Um, on the note of family, um, I I don't know whether you've noticed or not, but on my community page, I have deleted all of the pictures. Thank you, mate, for letting me know. Loud and clear. Good. Yeah, I've deleted all pictures that feature my daughter. I had a weird couple of messages that were quite disturbing. Um, about me and my daughter on those pictures. So I just thought, or it made me very uncomfortable. So I just deleted all the pictures. So I won't be putting anything else about my family on there. Just, there's just some weirdos out there, right? So I just figured it was best to just get rid of anything to do with family. But yeah. So there's some weird things been going on in the news. Did you see the Nicola Bulley case that was going on? It was here in the UK. Lady went missing. This was like about a month ago, but they only just found her. She went missing somewhere up north in England, and it seems like the police just completely messed this one up. Um, she was walking her dog by a river, and she was on like a phone call with work, and she just went missing and they couldn't find her. And the police were like, "We've searched the river. She's definitely not there." Then it ended up that they did find her in the river in the end, but it wasn't even the police that found her. It was like a psychic guy. So yeah, that was a crazy one. So they just said that it was actually her body. So that was, I feel so bad for the family because that 3 weeks she was missing before they found her. So that was really bad. But yeah. Oh, this is so weird being live. I've never done this before. Like, normally I can edit out where I don't talk. But I was just filming a video for one of my other channels actually, because I have another channel where I do sort of like diet and lifestyle stuff. I don't know if you're aware, because I'm a qualified PT and I'm really interested in nutrition and stuff. So I've just made a video on that channel about what I'm going to be doing, like diet and lifestyle and training wise. So if you want to check that out, you can. It's not gone live yet, but because I thought I'd jump on here and chat to you guys. But so whereabouts are you all? Because it's early afternoon here in the UK, so I'm just curious where you are and what time it is. Am I keeping you all up? Have I gone live at like really the wrong time for the rest of the world? I don't know. I probably should have checked like the world clock or something. But yeah, where are you and what time is it? Let me know. Have I woken you up? Or have you not gone to bed yet? Are you having a cup of tea like me? Hmm. Here's something interesting. Michigan, 8:16 a.m. Cool. So you getting ready for work? Portugal. What time is it in Portugal? You can't be that much difference to us, right? Same time. Yeah. Yeah. Lovely. It's the same. Yeah. Awesome. I've not been to Portugal, but my husband has a long time ago. Oh, you're on your lunch break? I know what I wanted to talk to you about. Um, I don't know where you are, whether you get surveys sent to you. So here, um, there's a company called Yougov, and you can sign up to receive surveys. And free Andrew Tate. Yes, I agree. I agree. Yeah, so you can sign up to receive these surveys, and it seems that a lot of the government policy is decided or checked with these surveys. So I signed up to receive these because, like, during the pandemic, I noticed that a lot of the news were saying, "Oh, they did a survey, and it seems everyone's in agreement with what the government are doing." And I was like, "Well, who are these people that are in agreement with what's going on?" Because I certainly wasn't. And so I put myself down. And this is the problem as well, is that you have to sign up to actually receive these surveys. So I think that's why it ends up with such a bias. So I made the decision to get these surveys myself because I wanted my opinion to be heard, basically. And I got one this morning, and honestly, some of the questions. Did you see my video on 15-minute cities that I did a little while ago? So they started asking questions in this survey about 15-minute cities, and I was like, oh, I knew it. I just knew it. So, yeah, the UK government are pushing for 15-minute cities. That's pretty obvious now. So it was stuff like, oh, how far do you have to travel to access like a supermarket or a hairdresser's or a GP, like a doctor's office? And I was like, well, I don't like the idea of these 15-minute cities. I just don't. And the fact that they've been asking them now in the like asking questions about them in the surveys, I don't like it. And then they were also asking, because they do daily questions as well. And one of the daily questions was, how much do you support national ID cards? And so this is one, they put it in outdoor posters. What's that? They're putting things about 15-minute cities about in posters. Is that what you mean? Yeah. So national ID cards, I'm very much against. You know, we already have forms of ID like passports. Yes, 15-minute cities. In Portugal, oh, it's going everywhere, isn't it, in the Western world at the moment? Yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not happy about it at all. There's London are pushing for it big time at the moment. And then you've obviously got Oxford. It's definitely an EU thing. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is an EU thing. Problem is, America are going to start doing it. I think it was Baltimore. I'm pretty sure it was Baltimore that said that they're going to do it. Or somewhere. I can't remember. I haven't got my iPad handy, so I can't search. But yeah, move out of the metro. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I live in a town and not a city, but it's going to come to cities as well, isn't it? Like the cities are the first ones to implement it, and then it will just filter down until we're all screwed, basically. That's what I think anyway. I really hope not, because Oxford, who were one of the first to announce that they're going to do it, there's been massive pushback, which was just wonderful to see. The bollards and that they were putting up, people were just going and they were tearing them out and they were setting fire to them, and it was just wonderful. They have put more permanent bollards in now, unfortunately, which are harder for people to move. But yeah, it's very dystopian, isn't it? And I was watching V for Vendetta the other day. Have you seen that film? It's just brilliant. And I think the V for Vendetta thing, a town that isn't huge can't be split into zones for 50-minute ideas. No, but I mean Canterbury's not that big, and they've put out their design for their 15-minute city. And I just don't see how it's going to work. It's going to be the death of small business. And my dad is a decorator, a tradesman. I don't know how it's going to affect them. I just don't see that it is plausible. Like, realistically, how are they actually going to do it? The only way it's going to work is with real authoritarian leadership, just stamping out people. It's not work. No, see, it's not workable. I don't. I agree wholeheartedly with you. It's not workable, but they're going to do it anyway. And unless we push back, it's going to ruin people's lives. So I was very, very pleased to see Oxford pushing back, and there's been protests about it in a few places. There's also been big protests about the migrant hotels. I don't know how aware you are of this story if you're outside of the UK, but we have a massive problem at the moment with illegal immigrants crossing the channel between France and England in these little dinghy boats. And, you know, the French authorities are supposed to be trying to stop it at their end, but they're not. And we're not stopping it at our end. So the various governments have proven many times they don't care about small businesses. Unfortunately, very true, and very sad. But you know why? It's because small business isn't good for their economic balance. They just like the books to be balanced, and that means big business because it keeps the market stable. But yeah, so with the migrant hotel situation, there's been protests up and down the country because, well, for one, it's costing us an absolute fortune, about £7 million a day to house these illegal migrants in hotels up and down the country. And they're putting, yeah, Canada, they destroyed most small business. Same here. I couldn't even tell you the number of small businesses that got destroyed as a result of the lockdowns. It's quite tragic, really, isn't it? Hopefully people can bounce back, but if they're going to do this 15-minute city thing, I don't know if they're going to be able to. Oh my God, we're just going to have to fight back, aren't we? But yeah, so protests are happening because of the migrant hotel situation. Now, what's happening basically is you've got all of these illegal migrants crossing the channel in their little dinghy boats, and then they get picked up by the RNLI, the lifeboat people, or by the customs people, and they get transported to these hotels and things. At first they were putting them in old military bases. Hi. Thank you very much. Yeah, so they were putting them all in these old military bases, but what they were doing was they were setting fire to the old barracks because they said it wasn't good enough. And you had a lot of the lefty politicians as well saying that the accommodation wasn't good enough. It was good enough for the servicemen and women that were living in them only a few years ago, but hey, it's not good enough for illegal migrants, apparently. So they started putting them in hotels, and you can just imagine how much this is costing. It's ridiculous. Like I said, 7 million a day. £7 million a day to house them. And that's just going to keep going up because there's just more and more of them arriving every day. And people are starting to protest because they've been putting them in tourist hotspots as well. And so what they've been doing, the government, they've been paying the hotel owner £1 million to close their hotel to the public. So if you had a wedding booked, it's cancelled. If you had a party booked, anything you had booked at that hotel is now cancelled. All of the staff get sacked immediately, and they bring in government agency staff to run the hotel. And so it's very bad for the local people because they've all lost their jobs now at that place of work. And you can just imagine, I live in a tourist hotspot, right? One of our hotels is full of migrants, just one. And there are places where they've got loads of hotels that are full of migrants. And there's also the crime problem that comes as a result of bringing in a massive group of men, because they are predominantly young men, in from cultures where they don't treat women equally or very well at all. So they put in these large groups of these young men into an area, and then they get surprised when young girls and women start getting followed and harassed. Hello, how are we doing? Yeah, so we've had a few instances here in my town of girls being followed or solicited by these men that are living in these hotels, and it's just not good at all. Um, Obviously, these protests are being labelled as far right extremists. You're at work. I hope you're having a good day. Yeah, so apparently, if you have concerns over illegal immigration, and yes, it is still going on. It's getting worse. I'm sorry to say, it's getting worse. um, yeah, so it's just bad all round. It's just bad all round, and yes, these poor girls and young women are being followed and harassed and stuff, and it's not a good situation at all. Um, our local Crown Court saw 5 rape cases in the last like 2 months or so, I think, which is a very high amount to have in a small, quiet area of the country. It doesn't get seen much. Um, you hate it because our laws are handcuffed. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're from Chile and you've got the same issue. Oh man. So you've got Venezuelan illegal immigrants. Yeah. The vast majority of the ones here in the UK are from Albania, I believe, where there isn't a war. So they're coming here claiming asylum, but there's no war going on in Albania at the moment. So I don't really get it. Yeah, I suppose they're just chancing their luck, aren't they? And I can't blame them. If your country is that crap that you want to pay a people smuggler to stick you in a tiny, dilapidated dinghy and push you out amongst the busiest. Sorry, I'm just reading these. Why are asylum seekers only young men? Well, exactly. Exactly. That's the question. Climate asylum. There's no excuse to cross the channel. The thing is, with the channel as well, it's a very dangerous stretch of water because it is a really busy shipping lane. Even if you come from a war-torn country, exactly. The asylum system exists for a reason, and we're accepting Ukrainian refugees at the moment, women and children. That it's only women and children that are coming from Ukraine because the men are not allowed to leave the country. And that's fine if there are genuine refugees from war-torn countries who have applied for refugee status through the correct channels. I don't think anybody has a problem with that. But when you enter a country illegally, exactly, that's not illegal crossings. Yeah, because when you enter a country illegally and then the government hand you money and pay for your accommodation. So in Latin America, it's common to name Europe, or blame Europe for all their problems. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. I, what general location? I'm in Cornwall. So that's obviously a big tourist hotspot in the UK. It's beautiful. I love it. We're going to stay here. Obviously, we moved here for my husband's work because he's still military, but we're going to stay down here. We've decided. It's nice. We have some nice beaches and stuff, and we do get some good weather in the summer. It's very cold at the moment, though. How's things where you are? Mm. Oh, I got a brilliant book, by the way. If you're interested in like diet and stuff, it's called Fast Like a Girl by Dr. Mindy Pelz. Very, very good. If you've got a lady in your life, highly recommend that you get her that. Or if you are a lady, then I highly recommend that you get that book. Dr. Mindy Pelz. She has her own YouTube channel and she's on Instagram as well. So if you want to check out her stuff. It's a sad state of affairs when, like, I'm 38 and I never knew anything about female hormone health because we're never taught it. And even when I trained as a personal trainer, I never got taught that, women should eat and train differently to men. Hopefully you didn't have an ice storm that knocked out your power. No. Have you had an ice storm? It's just cold here, that's all. But not cold enough to snow or hail or anything like that. It's just, we just got a chilly wind, basically. But yeah, I've got to work tonight, unfortunately. But I've got to make some money, huh? I've got beautiful eyes. Well, thank you very much. Rain, rain, and more rain. Yeah, it did rain here, actually. It rained here as well. You thought I was 25? Oh, gosh. Aren't you nice? No, not been 25 for a long time. I'm not sure I'd want to be 25 again. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm wiser, you know? I feel like the older I get, the more wise I get. I don't know. Have you found that? Yeah. Like most of my audience on here are males who are sort of between 30 and 45-ish. So I feel like we're probably quite on the same wavelength in terms of our thoughts and stuff. Obviously, you wouldn't subscribe to me if you didn't like me. The seas are boiling. Yes, Al Gore was. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he's getting his information from, but yeah, I don't believe that the. Do I exercise? I have a gym membership now, but I haven't actually started yet. Oh, you're in South Links. Are you in South Links, or are you just saying that the hotels are full? I was based at Coningsby for a while with the typhoons, but Harrier will always be my fave. Yes, Al Gore is just making shit up. You're right. But aren't they all? Aren't they all? Because he doesn't hold any political office anymore, does he? No, I don't think so. So he's just trying to stay relevant, right? From what I can gather. But they're all WEF puppets anyway, aren't they? We're all living in Klaus Schwab's world. Unfortunately. Well, I certainly won't be eating the bugs and living in the pod as he wants us to. But there you go. Yes, I think not far from Wittering. Ah, that's where I used to be based for a long time. Yes, he is fueling the paranoia. And it's the young'uns I feel sorry for. Like the ones who are at college and uni now. Because they're getting sort of hook, line and sinker into this, aren't they? And I feel bad for them because it's like brainwashing. It's not good. Fear sells. It does. It does. If the pandemic taught us anything, it's that true. But I'm very happy to say that I caught on pretty early on that things were not as they seemed. Because I specifically remember them videos coming out of China of people dropping in the streets. And I was just thinking, like, well, that's really bad if that's true. But then it didn't happen anywhere else. So then I'm like, did they just make that up to to petrify the Western world into following their lockdown strategy? I don't know. I don't know, because I don't know what would have caused that, because it certainly wasn't, the flu. So yeah, it's all very confusing. But people are pushing back, Like more and more people are speaking out, and obviously now that Elon Musk has Twitter. Good morning, how are we? Yeah, Elon now has Twitter, so things are getting a bit... Oh, thank you very much for the donation. Very much appreciated. Yeah, things are getting better, I think, on social media because people are starting to push back now on the woke stuff, specifically. Event 201 was an eye-opener pre-pandemic. I'm not familiar with what you're talking about there, so I'm going to have to go and look that up. But let me know if you've got any links to anything, any sources. I'm always interested in a theory. Biden is a lunatic. I'm not sure he has the cognition for lunacy. Where's the Fauci files, Elon? Well, he can't release everything all at once because, he needs to space these things out. Came by one of my vids yesterday. Well, welcome. Biden is senile. I think you're probably right there. Yeah, he does certainly have some worrying symptoms, doesn't he? He often looks like he's not sure where he's going or what he's supposed to be doing. And you can see the handlers get terrified if he goes off script a little bit. But then he can't remember a script. And when he's trying to read a teleprompter, it's painful to watch. Yeah. Biden isn't Biden. It's a man in a mask. Ooh, we're getting spicy. I think the that's the leader of the free world, apparently. Yeah, but I do think that he probably only got into office because people wanted Trump out. That's my theory, anyway, according to his own niece. Mm. Yeah, it's I mean, do you think that Trump's in with a chance at the next election? Because he's been having a pop at DeSantis, hasn't he? And I don't really understand that. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I don't actually think DeSantis will stand, but I don't know. I think he's pretty dedicated to Florida, isn't he? Oh, you're in California. Oh, how are those taxes? No, I never got a flight in a Harrier. I was gutted because I was supposed to. I was supposed to. Um, yeah, one of the pilots on the squadron I worked at did say that he would get me a back seat, but unfortunately, Harrier got disbanded before I got my chance. Gruesome Newsom. That's the governor of California, right? So someone just asked if there was a world leader that I respect. World leader. That's difficult. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that Trump was going to Ohio, and I also saw that he sent a massive relief delivery as well, which was very admirable of him. I don't like the fact that he's attacking DeSantis because I don't believe that infighting is the way ahead. And obviously, you've got people like George Soros saying that he hopes that DeSantis runs against Trump because it will split the vote, which will allow the Dems to continue in power. Trump is being more of a president than Biden. Yes, well, Biden's too busy swanning off to Ukraine, isn't he? Because he has his priorities all messed up. I heard that they are looking at giving some relief aid to, is it East Palestine or Palestine that it's pronounced? I've heard both. Obviously, the country's pronounced Palestine, but too busy laundering money in Ukraine. Oh, you can't say that. Oh, Trump's been now, has he? I know he said he was going to, and then I saw that he'd sent the big relief package. So yeah, that's very admirable of him to do that. Biden made a lot of money from Ukraine. That's the rumor. That's the rumor. Yeah, because they say that he was the big man. First time on the channel, am I aware of the Adani crisis in India? No, sorry, I'm not aware of that one. Pete. That's the transport guy, right? He's in charge of the transport. Is that correct? A tactical advisor. I honestly, man, I was RAF. That's way above my pay grade. But I think there's more than meets the eye with the Ukraine thing. The UK views on the Russia-Ukraine conflict is very much, well, the mainstream media is very much on the side of Putin's a madman and he invaded Ukraine for no reason. That's the line that the mainstream media are going down. I couldn't tell you what the general consensus among the population is. I think it's very much they believe what the mainstream media tell them still, which, given the last 3 years, is kind of astounding to me that people are still listening to them. But he hasn't taken over Ukraine because they're undisciplined. Is that what you're saying? I'm I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know what to believe at this point, honestly. I know that you're in the UK. Yeah, I get what you're saying with not pro Putin but anti NATO. I think NATO pushed him into it basically. Um, yeah. Sorry, just reading your comments. Some of them are really funny. And I'm sorry if I don't get to read your comment out and answer it. Um, I know there's only 17 of you though, so who knows? Right, Jeffrey. um, yeah, I I think NATO sort of poked the bear, didn't they? Because um, they were never supposed to enter the areas that they were pushing into. There was an agreement in place. There was an agreement in place, and whether you believe it or not, you know, no, conscripted armies don't work as well as volunteer armies, but there is something to be said for national service. I don't know what you guys think about national service, but do you want to keep away from the whole political mess? Generally, yes, but it's so difficult because, we all have our own opinions and we're worried too much. You like the idea of national service? I'm in kind of two minds about it because having been in the military, I don't think I would want someone there who didn't want to be there, you know? So, as much as I think it would be very beneficial for the youth to get a taste of the real world and do something like serving their country, and, it may teach them to have a bit more pride in their country, perhaps, because I mean, Tony Blair did a brilliant job of destroying any kind of feeling of national pride amongst the youth. I think that will be his legacy, but who the hell knows? Are you a retired army? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want someone next to me that was not wanting to be there because they wouldn't. I didn't see the South Park episode about Harry and Meghan, but I saw clips, and what I did see was hilarious. And I think the fact that they're having a bit of a meltdown about it and apparently wanting to sue makes it all the funnier. But they take themselves too seriously, you know. I really dislike that woman, and I really dislike Harry now too. I never had a problem with him because you were a very blunt leader. The thing is, though, the military is not a place to be pink and fluffy, and it's not a place for diversity quotas, and that got the RAF into trouble a little while ago because they had a high up female. Oh, battery's low. They had a very high up female leader quit because she wouldn't enforce the rules for putting women and ethnic minorities ahead of white men. And it wasn't just in recruitment, they were pushing it in promotion as well. So Harry seemed the most human, and now he's just a whiny little bitch. Yeah, agreed. I never had an issue with Harry. But what he's done since he married that woman, honestly. Hi. I will have to go soon because my battery's low, but I'll keep talking for a bit. But yeah, honestly, I've lost all respect for Prince Harry. I have. Bunker Harry, because he never left the bunker in Afghanistan apart from photo ops. And then he had the audacity to say the war was like Call of Duty, honestly. And with the whole putting his kill count in his book, honestly, I take that with a grain of salt. And yeah, he's just a petulant child who had to be, helped through every phase of his life. He attended the best schools in the country without doubt and had to be helped quite a lot to get the terrible grades that he did. And then he was helped through Sandringham to become an army officer. And it just winds me up, because there are people with genuine talent and leadership skills that probably would have done an amazing job in that Apache. But yeah, he went to Eton. Yeah. And I don't know. I think maybe he only wanted to become an Apache pilot because his brother was a search and rescue helicopter pilot. And that takes real skill, because some of the things you have to do as a search and rescue pilot, like the maneuvers and holding it steady in very difficult weather conditions and stuff like that, that takes real skill. And I think he's always been very jealous of his brother. Just my personal opinion. Obviously, I don't know these people, but that's the impression I get, and especially with the things that he was putting in his book as well. But anyway, that's enough about the Montecito pair, because they wind me up. And I hate the fact that they're everywhere. There are videos about them. They're on the news constantly. There's newspaper articles, magazine articles written about them all the time. They're just insufferable and proven liars at that. But yeah. Are there any topics you want me to talk about in any upcoming videos? Is there anything like burning in your brain that you really would like me to talk about? Prince William will have the crown next, yes, and I think that's what Harry's always been jealous of, because he was the spare. Yeah. You wish they were still in the UK? No, we don't want them, because there's all that talk about them coming over for the coronation, or if they'll come over, if they won't come over. I don't know. I don't want them here. I have a feeling they'll probably get booed again if they do come back. But who knows? Expand on more UK topics? Yeah, happy. You want to hear me say certain phrases? Why is that? I was always told I had a good tannoy voice because I worked in air traffic control, so we had to do station tannoys. And I was always told I had a very good tannoy voice. So it was like, stand by for broadcast from air traffic control. But anyway, hope you're having a lovely day and that you do have a lovely rest of your day. I'm going to have to go now because I need to... you want me to talk about the Russia-Ukraine situation? Honestly, I'm not sure that would get monetized, but leave me some comments on what you want me to talk about in upcoming videos, and I will make a list and I'll get on it, because now my daughter's back at school. I can film again. Yay. But I'm going to have to go because I have to plug my phone in. I am monetized. Yes, I am monetized, but certain subjects the video won't get any adverts on. But yeah, I am monetized. Oh God, when did I monetize? It was like 10 months after I started the channel. But right. Thank you very much for joining me. This is my first live. Let me know if you'd like me to do this again, and I will. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.